Hi, folks. This is Neil O'Brien, principal of Geiger Montessori, and I am accompanied by Mary Glenn.
Hello, I'm Mary Glenn. I'm the instructional coach here at Geiger Montessori.
And so in this presentation, we are going to go over some basic things related to Geiger, and we are a little different as a Montessori school. And on our website, we will have much more information about who we are as a school, but here's the basics. So we're going to go over some academics, a little bit about the Montessori method. We'll talk about our daily schedule, communications, school culture, volunteering, something called Beyond the Bell, and we won't actually take Q&A here, but that's part of our presentation.
This photo here was taken in our foyer of the school, so when you are on campus, you'll be able to see this, but let me introduce you to the Children's House team. Starting at the base of the stairs, we have Elena Wolf, one step up, Joe Puri, then Kendra Paskey, Janina Williams, Mary Jane Bardsley, and Carolee Collier. These are all Montessori trained teachers for our Children's House team.
Yeah, so this whole concept of Children's House, well, we're going to get into that because that is a different model, isn't it, that we have here. So our choice enrollment window is open right now. Most of this presentation, this is really designed by the district for kindergartners. Of course, we do have preschoolers in class with kindergartners, and there's more about that that's kind of referenced in this presentation, but really we're thinking primarily about kindergartners here, okay? And so the choice enrollment window means for children who live inside Tacoma, but are choosing, they don't live in the Geiger neighborhood and would choose to attend Geiger. You have to apply by March 18th, and we are presenting this here on March 7th, so that window is kind of tight right now. And children who live outside of Tacoma Public Schools boundaries, there is a different process for you. So on the academics, as a Montessori school, we do not have any single grade classrooms. There is no kindergarten class. There is no first grade class. Instead, we have 6 classrooms that have 3- and 4-year-old preschoolers in class with kindergartners. And when children leave kindergarten, they go to lower elementary. That's grades 1, 2, and 3, and children stay in that room for 3 years. And then upper elementary is grades 4 and 5. So in the ideal world, we would have children only transition 2 times in the school when they go from Children's House to lower L and then lower L to upper L. We would keep the same teacher in the ideal world until promotion to that next house, as we call it. Children's House, lower L, and upper L. So there are few whole class lessons that happen in these classes because they are multi-grade. Mostly there are small group lessons that have grade level students together, and there is the opportunity for children who are younger or possibly older to be part of that lesson at a particular grade level because that might be the just right fit for that child. Children also learn from each other and get very personalized attention in our classes, and students grow into themselves as distinct people in this Montessori school.
So if you were to walk into one of our Children's House classrooms, you would notice that there are no desks. The room actually feels quite homey with child-sized furniture, such as low tables, floor mats, and low shelves, with enticing materials placed around the classroom. The focus of our classroom is on student choice and autonomy. The child has choices within limits throughout the day. The teacher has taught procedures at the beginning of the year, which supports this orderly classroom. The children receive lessons from the teacher and then proceed in setting up their work area by placing a mat on the floor or choosing a table. The child goes about collecting their materials and begins working independently. Once completed, the teacher or assistant reviews or checks the work, and the child returns the material to the shelf and then moves on to a new work. Maria Montessori designed these hands-on concrete materials to be self-correcting. For instance, if a child has a workout, all the pieces should fit together so the child knows that that work has been completed correctly. Or if they might be doing some math work, all the counters will have been used. There are different centers in a Montessori classroom. The centers are called practical life, sensorial, literacy, mathematics, and science and cultural. Children move about these areas selecting work throughout the day. The work cycle, which I somewhat explained above, is where the child will choose a work, they'll proceed and do the work, they'll clean up, and through that process, the child is developing self-regulation, deep concentration, stamina, and work habits that will last throughout their years in school. There is a lot of student movement throughout the room and social engagement. Children are talking with each other about their learning. They're asking questions of the teachers or sharing their information with any adults in the room. Over time, students learn to direct their own learning. There is a teacher and an assistant in each of the Children's House classrooms and the lower L classrooms.
Yeah, with all that student autonomy and student movement and interaction, the two adults are really necessary. So this now to help our preschool families as well, to just have a picture of what would the typical day look like. So if your preschooler joins us, the preschooler will follow the kindergarten day, and it goes like this. The day begins basically at 9 o'clock, so we would have arrival before that. Kindergartners could arrive by bus, preschoolers would be dropped off by families or walked in. We would enter class and have breakfast in the classroom that is provided complimentarily by the district. We will gather at circle, have some morning announcements, and then that work cycle that Mrs. Glenn referenced begins. And so there's an extended period of that. In the Montessori world, the ideal number is like 3 hours of work where children are moving from one work to another and really building that stamina. Then they go to lunch and they have a recess period, and there's another work cycle in the afternoon. All of our Children's House students will go to specialist classes at some point in the day. That would be either PE, music, or library. And at the end of the day, there will be some conclusion with a circle, and then dismissal, and dismissal going to the bus or to meet up with families at the end of the day.
So as I said earlier, we have low shelves for easy access for all children. The tables are low and the chairs so that they can be moved about by the children. There is a bathroom in each classroom with a low toilet and sink for easy use. There are numerous areas for children to be able to sit and create work. They could sometimes work with a partner or in a small group. And then outside our classroom doors, there is a pod, which is often used by volunteers or teachers for small groups or art projects.
So Geiger Montessori is really kind of a showcase school. The district many times has pictures of our school because of its location. We can see the Puget Sound waters and the Olympics in the distance on our 1 or 2 clear days during the school year. We can see the bridges across the Sound and stunning sunsets. And the building itself is really quite a stunning building. It's beautiful to come into. We could see a little bit of that plant foliage that we have inside our foyer at the front of the school. And all this stuff, the truth is, all of this beautiful design is just a facade. It is an incredibly wonderful school, not because of this beauty, but because of the community that gets formed. I've gotten ahead of myself, I can see that, sorry. We also have this large playground and a play field. It is quite beautiful. There is an amphitheater like the ancient Greeks would have that kind of is between two arms, these building arms, and the steps go down. The whole student body can sit in the amphitheater. We do that a few times a year. And we have some raised beds with a rooftop garden, a beautiful gym, and a cafeteria with a dividing wall that can be collapsed so that we can have whole student body assemblies. There is a creative art and a student services area. And there's lots of natural light. All of the classrooms have beautiful natural light. Even those that face the north can get some natural light in them. And throughout the school, there are these marine themes. We have different, in the pods that we referenced, there are paintings or designs of turtles and sand dollars and things like that. And there are Montessori elements that are incorporated into the building. You can learn much more about Montessori in a video that we will soon have up on our school webpage, the geigerorcas.org, and that'll have some excellent information in it, and you will hear the voices of our teachers in that. So this is the thing I kind of jumped to too fast, but it really is the highlight of the school. This beautiful building is just the facade. There are exceptionally strong relationships that develop when you have one teacher working with a child for multiple years. So the teacher-student relationship is very strong. The student-student relationship is very strong. The teacher-family relationship is very strong. And then families within the classroom develop a little community too. There is an experience that I refer to as kind of co-creation of this school. When students and families mature in classes and in the school, we together create the culture of this school and of classes. So at the end of fifth grade, I thank our fifth graders for creating this wonderful school that we have, that we get to work in. Returning students coming back in the next year, maybe a first grader coming back to second grade, they don't lose ground in the autumn because they are known by the teacher and they know the routines of that classroom. And in this method, there is an unusual degree of self-possession. It's a common experience for me to go in a classroom and children will not even pay attention to me. They are so focused on work or in conversation with their classmates that they just attend to that. And this kind of self-possession really leads to courage, kindness, and creation. And we're very proud of that.
So here at Geiger, we are focused on diversity and inclusion. We are a friendly, welcoming, warm community where children learn and are very curious. The engagement is high, not only for the students, but we look at the parent-teacher relationship as a partnership. The office team could not be more accommodating and helpful. We welcome volunteers into our school, and there are a wide range of possible tasks for you to help out with. Being that our model is such, you're able to work one-on-one with children or in small groups, or it might be that you would like to prepare materials for the teacher. So there is a variety of options for you. And we have a highly active PTSA that meets monthly and provides many opportunities for our students. So we attract families from across the city who choose and help create this school.
So in terms of communication, Mary referenced this super office team that we have. On the far left in this picture is Roxanne Luvas, and on the right is Michelle Donnelt. And they pride themselves on answering the phone, not on the first ring, but we don't use, should not go to being able to push buttons and say who you want to talk to. We try to respond to every phone call. We are very personal and try to be proactive in our communication. We have weekly recorded emails and phone calls. We use texts on occasion. Schoology is where teachers are communicating primarily with parents. We really don't have a social media presence, and what we want to do is really have people call us or email me directly so that we can talk together. And if there are ideas, insights, and concerns, I promise to listen and attend to those in a respectful and personal way. If there are concerns, call, and then we can work together to build relationships and to collaborate. Volunteers are always welcome in our school, and we really have a ton of them. In the springtime, we generally have a volunteer appreciation celebration, and we just have too many people on our list that we could even fit in our cafeteria. And if you choose this school, you are going to join a community, and you're going to meet other parents, and it's just a super cool place in this Geiger Montessori world. And so we encourage people to come here and to engage. Some other details about the day and elements of our school. We have lunch in the cafeteria. Some qualify for free lunch. Others can form meal accounts where you would put money on an account. It's also okay to send lunch with your child. Snacks in the classroom? Yep, it's okay to send those, and teachers usually coordinate those. If your child has allergies, yep, we're sensitive to that. We want to protect your child and make sure that we don't have certain kinds of foods coming into a classroom if it could be causing physical problems for children in the room. Transportation, so the bus routes really comes from Tacoma Public Schools Transportation Department. We also have a lot of families who are out of our neighborhood who aren't served by a bus, and so they drive their children to school. And we have in the front of the school a drive-up park and walk into our playground. That's part of this community formation. And also in the back of a school, a valet process where parents drive around the back. That is a complicated process. We'll teach families about that in the summertime. We have a YMCA childcare on site, and you should check with them for the ages that are served. I'm not sure right now whether our preschoolers are served by that. And we do ask that our preschoolers be toilet trained before coming in. It's a little different model than Head Start. Okay, Head Start really works with families to do that. And then Beyond the Bell is a program that families can sign up for. And some of it is, there are various options. Geiger actually has a very active Beyond the Bell program. And the current model is pay what you choose. So you don't have to pay anything for some of the cool activities that children can do after school. Okay, in the summertime, we will have kindergarten jumpstart. These are 4 days, and our target families for this are new kindergarten students, not actually our preschoolers. We'll orient preschoolers differently, and not returning kindergartners who were part of our Children's House classes already. We are really prioritizing children who have not been in our classrooms before, and our teachers will reach out to families and help coordinate that. The dates are August 22nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, 9 to 1. We are really looking to have families commit to all 4 days because our ambitious teachers develop a plan that orients children really well from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Breakfast and lunch are provided, but transportation is not provided, and we will have much more information on that in future communications. And so that is our presentation. We do hope that you've learned a little bit about Geiger Montessori here. If you have questions, you can call our school. You can email me directly. And I thank you for your interest and hope that I get to know you and your child in the fall. Thank you.